This is a man who was the architect of Project Fear, which said interest rates are going to hugely increase after the election, huge spike in unemployment, huge spike in inflation. None of that has happened, so I don't believe his figures. I just don't believe them. I think they are made up.
Although his figures now show that growth is not going to increase at the rate of forecasts. The cost is already...
Yeah, but where's the 900 figure come from? What's it based on? What's it based on?
It's based on looking at the growth forecast just before the referendum with where we are now and how the economy is actually performed.
Made up.
That 900 a year...
Stock market just went up to the highest level ever in British history this week. Has he reflected on that? Not a word of it.
It's roughly 18 quid per family, per household, and it is because growth is so much lower. Now, not all of that is down to Brexit, but some is, because you remember the pound plummeted. And it plummeted so far, we went from the 5th to the 6th biggest economy.
Same level now against the dollar as it was before the referendum.
Wages have been squeezed. You've lost that period. And you blithely talk about Project Fear on one side.
I do.
I couldn't see what was more Project Fear than pretending we're going to be overrun by Syrian refugees and Turks.
He does say that once the trade deal has been negotiated, actually... things might go up.
He thinks growth's going to be enormous. But as he's got everything wrong so far, I wouldn't believe a single word he says.
Well, until he says growth's going to be enormous, and then you'll believe him.
The economy's doing just fine. The economy's doing just fine. The stock market and all-time high, which Maguire never wants to mention.
About the future of his job as a consequence of this.
He's not going to stick around. He's not going to stick around. He was George Osborne's choice as the central banker, and there is a thing that rhymes with, and George Osborne was Project Fear as well.
Philip Hammond, the Chancellor, wanted him to stay on longer. I think he's taking a year extension, and then he'll be off.
Well, talking about Philip Hammond, actually, because he's on the front page of the paper, isn't he, today? Gove launches attack on Hammond. I mean, isn't it a time for unity here? What's going on?
Look, Brexit is divisive, and we have a cabinet that is dominated by Remainers. Remember that. And they've just got to get with it. We're leaving. Maguire hasn't accepted it yet.
You're leaving
praying for his next referendum.
I think the argument to put Brexiteers in charge of everything is actually quite a compelling one now.
I do.
Because the divisiveness is so... Well, it's actually stopping negotiations progressing, isn't it? Because we're not sure what we're doing if we come out of the customs union, whether we're going to get a customs partnership or max fac, and we haven't got long left to negotiate. Businesses must be tearing their hair out.
Counting the days.
Look, it'd be easier to herd cats than get agreement within a cabinet. So
don't ask where the Labour Party is, by the way.
No, Labour split too.
Split.
But when you have a government supposed to be negotiating with our nearest neighbours, those we have 45% of our trade or something. It's a quarter of a billion.
It's 43%.
Quarter of a
it's going
trillion.
down every year.
The fact is, if they're fighting amongst themselves, they're never going to be able to negotiate for Britain.